emphasizing critical thinking, creativity, strategic action, and then also having that supported by effective communication networks, meaningful engagement of young professionals, of elders, of community and indigenous representatives in different decision-making processes, project development, implementation. We want this to be inclusive. Okay. And last slide before I pause. We feel that these are some of the levers we have at our disposal to pull moving forward. So for this action plan, some of the goals we see, some of the potential that IUCN has is in its commission membership. 11,000 people around the world. That's a vast amount of social capital that we can further draw on. We also want to work closely with the Secretariat to engage youth in conservation, not just within the Union, but through the Union, to larger audiences. Motion 8 calls for secretarial support, calls for a dedicated staff person, or at least some time from a person in the Secretariat to help coordinate our efforts. It would be great if that happens. Motion passes and then we can lobby more strongly for that. The third is engaging member organizations and states, something we haven't done yet. I think we've had success at the commission level, and now the big networks. And imagine 1,000 members, and then all of their listservs, right? It's all those people, huge networks, but they're already involved in conservation. So the key is reaching through the member organizations out to the broader public. Our reach would be phenomenal. And there was a council-sponsored meeting 2 evenings ago, and one recommendation coming out of that was to literally count how many people we can reach through our member organizations to get a sense of the leverage that we would have if we could engage all of those people to engage more people. Right? And then finally, I pointed out that we may have to assume that there are no financial resources for our efforts. We will push hard for an intergenerational fund. I'm glad I see at least one presidential candidate in the room. That having dedicated funding, dedicated staff time from the Secretariat will make all of these efforts more robust and bring them to a level that we haven't seen yet. This is all of this has been accomplished on volunteer time so far, and so we're excited to continue engaging with the relationships we have, especially commission staff have been very supportive already in making these efforts realities. Good. Let's you just go back there. Can you please switch the presentation? So the second point on the agenda, as I mentioned, is a short example of a really successful collaboration between Secretariat and an IUCN member organization. Virena is going to speak with us about the Go for BioDiv program. And then we're going to move into selecting strategic areas for engagement at the union level before breaking into breakout groups. So Virena.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm really honored to be part now of this youth movement within IUCN, and I hope by presenting the Go for BioDiv, which is not actually even not really a project, but just a short-term event which is being organized at the moment and in 2010 for bringing youth to the Convention on Biodiversity COPs, which are taking place every 2 years. Could you switch slides? The first time this idea came up in 2008 in Germany, and GIZ was the main host of this event, but it was really successful, and in 2010 it was done again. And the idea is to bring youth from around the world working on a specific topic or coming from specific sites to the COPs and voicing their opinions, showing their emotions, showing their point of views there, and having a chance for them to engage with the delegates, with the wider public. In 2010, the theme was World Heritage in times of climate change, and so the young people came from World Heritage sites around the world. The age is 18 to 25. This year, we do it just now, we organize it just now for India. It's until 29, so youth is a broad broadened a little bit the limit, but we still feel young at 29, I guess. Could you please? Yeah, as I said, we are just organizing it for 2012, and you see there's not only IUCN, actually the World Heritage Program, in which I am working in as partner of the organization, but also the Wildlife Institute of India, who is also an IUCN member, again GIZ, WWF, and the UNESCO World Heritage Center and the ASEAN Center for Biodiversity. So before I tell you shortly how I perceive that this collaboration is working and what you all could learn from it, I give you just 2-3 more slides to give you an impression of what it really is what we are doing. Thanks. The young people are selected by reaching out to local organizations and asking them if they want to send someone. This year's theme is marine sites, marine world heritage sites, and the Indian coastal states. So we were trying to go via local organizations. This was already a problem because often we don't get responses, funding is a problem. Go for Biodiv has some core funds, but still from the partner organizations you would need some small funds. And at this level, I think it could be done even better, reaching out to member organizations really with the backing of saying, yeah, we are IUCN and it's an IUCN project, come and bring us some young people. Maybe it was this year not ideally done, but nevertheless we have 35 young people selected, and here you see, for example, a comic which Maya has produced before coming to COP, because everybody produces, for example, pictures, makes interviews. Here you see Ellen from Mexico making interviews with people living in and around the Siancán Park. And you see Maria from Argentina above at her work and preparing that she can exchange about her work experience with the other young people than in India. In India we will have a nature-based camp. This was in 2008, the nature-based camp, everybody coming together, exchanging, having workshops. And after the nature-based camp, everybody goes to the COP together with a declaration in hand, with creative parts in hand. Like you see, a dance was prepared in 2008 and 10. This time it will be street theater, and prepared to talk to delegates and to have big speeches. This time we also started to produce newsletter, internet pages, Facebook pages. Actually, I'm not yet we are not yet in contact with the IUCN Intergenerational Facebook group, so we should get in touch, I think. And a publication was prepared after the last Go for Biodiv, and will probably also be prepared this time. We will all go together on the 6th of October to the Sundarbans in India, which is the big mangrove delta, and I think we'll have a quite intense time before joining CBD COP in Hyderabad. Here you see a message from our Go for Biodiv messenger Monica from 2008, which I think fits good with this workshop. You can go. Yeah, thanks. I would have some more messages, but I think it's better that we really think about what can we learn from it. Yeah, funding is a problem. Go for Biodiv is not established in one organization, so you always have to find new organizations who could partner for it. And if there would be a fund, for example, this could be one of an idea for a first project, maybe. But in general, it's interesting to see that it's not only in IUCN difficult to really implement something into the structures, but also the CBD Secretariat, for example, is partner of Go for Biodiv since 2008, and it's still really hard to feel that you are, as youth, really included in the processes, that people think about, we have the youth side. So I think it's a general observation we can make, but yeah, we still should try that it's strategically thought of youth. And yeah, just two more things. I think IUCN has many specific themes they are working on, and I feel not only, for example, in communication, where already lots is being done in relation to youth and with youth, because it's the most obvious. The young persons are, especially with new media, really good and needed, but also like for other themes, economic species, something projects could be thought of, and I think maybe not in the next 4 years, but maybe for the next strategic planning, we could think of projects, youth projects within IUCN and member organizations. And one more thing, which we also found out after the Inheritors workshop, because my boss, Tim Badman from the World Heritage Program, was there, and he was pretty impressed by what you have already done, and he said, yeah, actually I don't know what IUCN and the Secretariat is doing for youth, and how we are, I'm a trainee, but he doesn't really know if there are global training programs, and what are the possibilities for youth. And he said it would be really important to also on the Secretariat level to have some strategic approach on young people. And that was his message, or I think his primary message he gave more to Grace. And I also want to let know the message to you. And I wish us all good luck, that we can find some really specific actions and bring them on in the next years. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, so you have stickers on your chair, right? This is voting. We all get to vote. We'd like to focus on the union level efforts first. We'll have a set of breakout groups on different union level projects, and then we'll come back together. We'll hear a short presentation from CISP, the CISP Commission, and then we'll break into a second round of commission-specific groups. Okay, so just to remind you that this is to focus on engagement with the Secretariat, with the Council, with member organizations, with partners, okay? And we'll have a separate chance to talk about commissions in particular. So, as I mentioned, there are many sources for the ideas that we gather for this event, for the action planning, and we clustered those ideas from all of you into 9 different clusters at the union level. There are 4 over here, including resource mobilization, network building, internal communication platforms, communication, education, and public awareness with a broader public. And as I read these, be thinking about which ones you want to vote for. We're a lot of people, so I think each person will get 2 votes. Okay? We're going to ask you to vote for which ones are the most strategic for us to undertake. The ones where we can make an impact with relatively little effort. So little effort for big gain. That's what we're thinking about. On this side, there's capacity building, working with IUCN member organizations, working with the Secretariat, IUCN Council, or governance, more broadly, governance efforts, and youth engagement in strategic events. Okay? So what we've done, we'd like to offer two suggestions. One is that half of you sort of mingle over toward that flip chart with 2 stickers and decide if you want to vote for one or more there. And you can also add, with the sticky notes, the orange sticky notes, perhaps a comment or a suggestion for that general area. But understand that each of these clusters has between 5 to 10 project ideas behind it. Okay? So the idea is that we will select those areas that get the highest votes, and then we'll form breakout groups around each area, And that breakout group can look strategically at the projects that were brainstormed for that cluster. Okay? So we'll ask, when I'm done speaking, do two things. Vote twice with your sticker. So you just place a sticker next to capacity building. Okay? And let's try to group them so it's clear. And then you can also offer a general comment. It might be a question, it might be a resource. It might say, why don't we partner with a specific program in the Secretariat? Or there's a specific member organization that you represent. Write it down. Perhaps you want to partner with this effort. Okay, so any resources that you have at your disposal, any comments, any suggestions you have for that area, that goes on the orange sticky note. So they're here, the sticky notes, and on the other side. Okay? So any questions? I think this will be loud and messy, and that's fine, right? We can do loud and messy. It's the Congress, right?
Except for some people like that,
I'm not going to try to organize it too much. I think use your elbows and vote twice and offer comments as needed. Yes?
Does it matter any color, which color?
Just pick your favorite colors. All right, let's do it. So 2 votes, please, and comments, resources that you may have, partnerships that you want to initiate, go on the sticky notes.
She said that she might be able to come in, which is kind of quicker. So we might have to check it. I don't know how she left. I don't know where she is. I'm supposed to take